All right, boys, listen. I don't normally like doing top fives, top 10 lists, but you know what works very well on YouTube and what gets clicks and what gets views? Top fives and top 10s. So guess what we're doing? Top 5 things that I love about each Yu-Gi-Oh format and Yu-Gi-Oh in general, and top 5 things I hate about every single type of format. It's a fun little video. All opinions are my own. If you get salty about this, I'm going to just laugh at you. Let's get into it. Master Duel number 1 is the first thing we'll be talking about. Master Duel, 5 things I love about it. Number 1, no money. That's right. You can spend $0, 0 pennies, and get everything you want out of Master Duel. I think that is absolutely amazing. It also, a lot of people, that was like a lot of fear when Master Duel first came out. Oh my God, why wouldn't I just play emulator, simulator? It doesn't matter. You can just you can basically do the same thing here with just a little bit of smarts. And if you're able to re-roll accounts, if you're able to make new accounts, and you have no downsides to doing that, you don't care about doing that, you literally have everything for free. So I think that's super awesome. You can play whenever you want. I think that's super cool. You can, although not so great, you can play on the mobile version of this game. You can play it on the tablet version. You can play on PC. You don't have to go to locals or anything like that, like the physical card game, and I think that's super awesome when it comes to Master Duel. It is the hypest Yu-Gi-Oh game that we've ever had. If you check Steam charts, if you check just other content, larger content creators on the YouTube platform, on the Twitch platform, everybody was playing Master Duel when it came out, and I have no doubt everyone will continue to play Master Duel once they finally update the game. Which just had more outreach for Yu-Gi-Oh! In general. I don't think I've ever seen Yu-Gi-Oh! Be as widespread, and I think that's super, super cool. I think it teaches you well to play the game. Everything is kind of automated. It's much harder to learn the game. Trust me, as someone who's been trying to learn TCG in real life, it is much harder to learn what cards do and whatnot if you don't have the automatic prompts coming up. I think Master Duel does a very good job of giving you the tools to teach you how to play the game properly. And of course, you could always hit up YouTube, like our YouTube channel, to learn the game more in depth. And lots of cards to use and learn. While we don't have all the cards in TCG, Master Duel does have a lot of cards. I would say, I think like 90% of the card pool right now is in Master Duel. So if you've taken a large break out of Yu-Gi-Oh! Like we have at the channel, everyone except PDS has pretty much taken a very large break with Yu-Gi-Oh! There's a lot to learn about the game, and a lot different archetypes do a lot of different things, and you have lots of time to learn all of those things. So those are the 5 things that I love about Master Duel. 5 things I don't like so much. Slow update cycle. I don't like how often they update the game. I'm hopeful that they start updating it sooner. I think maybe they're just stun locked and don't know what direction to take the game in. Maybe they're not making as much money. I don't know. I'm not really sure. Hard to learn. While it teaches you well, you do have to take the time to actually learn the game. For example, if you get hit with a Tri-Brigade, Ominous Omen, and your cards get banished, and you're like, wait a second, I can't be targeted. You're not going to learn that through just the app. You're going to have to actually go look up videos and stuff, how to actually, get past that. No competitive mode. I don't think Master Duel is competitive, unfortunately. That is something that community tournaments step in and try to help the competitive tournament. As of right now, ranked is not competitive, so, hey, it is what it is. Hopefully, one day we get more ranks, we get an ELO system, we get, something to make a competitive mode. That'd be awesome. Lots of empty promises when it comes to Master Duel. I think Konami may have hyped it up a little too much. For example, saying things like TCG, OCG ban list, saying things like this is going to be an esport, etc., when it came to Master Duel. I think if they just literally just dropped it without saying too much about it, it would have been in a better place. I don't really like the empty promises too much. And then the cheaters, the botters, all of that has been... They've been patching them very quickly, and they've been putting in, quick fixes, which I enjoy. That's awesome, but at the end of the day, there is still a large amount of bot programs that are running rampant, cheat programs that are running rampant that I wish would be fixed at its core so that these things don't exist anymore. I know that's super hard, and it's not something I can realistically, expect them to fix right off the bat, but I think you still got to point at it and say, hey, that thing exists in this game. I was going to also put mobile version on here. The mobile version is not super good, but I do know that for some people the mobile version is acceptable, or you know, is working, where maybe it's just my device that doesn't work. It's working on iPad. I don't know. All I know is, for me personally, the mobile version doesn't work well, and I don't like that about Master Duel, but for other people, they said it was okay. So God bless them. Moving on, let's talk about TCG OCG. I'm extremely new to TCG OCG, so a lot of these won't necessarily be something you guys agree with, but these are things that I like and don't like about TCG OCG. Number one, it is by far the most competitive. I don't think anyone can really argue that. Of all the different formats that you have access to play with, TCG OCG is the same as Master Duel, but you have to know all your plays, and you have to know your opponent's plays in case they try to cheat you, you know? So I do believe that it is the most competitive out of all of them, because you have to manually do everything that you would do in Master Duel. Real card value. This is probably the one that I don't think anyone's going to disagree with me. If you get a card in real life, it's just worth more than digital cardboard, right? A card in real life has physical value that you can go resell, you could trade, you can frame whatever to gloat about. You know, I think that's super cool, and I do wish that cards had better value. Master Duel, there is some value, right, because you get the dusting system. Duel Links, there's no value to the cards whatsoever, unfortunately. Hopefully, they will get a crafting system in the future. Talking to your opponent, I think this is something that is greatly underestimated when it comes to just online games in general. These days, I feel like not a lot of people, or not a lot of games even let you talk to your opponent outside of like a quick chat. And even if you do end up talking to your opponent, it ends up just being salty talk between the two of them. You're like, oh, I can't believe you got Nibiru, all that stuff. Talking to someone in real life while you're playing with them in real life, people are going to be nicer because it's a real life thing. You're not going to be, unless, you know, they're socially awkward, they're probably not going to be dicks to you in real life. And just in general, you know, if something funny happens, like, oh my god, I can't believe you had Nibiru that whole time, or some shit like that, you know, it's more hilarious at that point. And you could even like do some mind games when it comes down to it. It's like, hey, was that your 5th summon? Okay, I'm gonna Nibiru you now. I'm just kidding, I don't have Nibiru. And then you just, you know, you let them play from then on. And then play like you want, right? In TCG OCG, I feel like because there isn't as much, you know, like there isn't a ladder, you can kind of get away with playing more decks, because not everyone's going to have the top tier decks. In something like Duel Links or Master Duel, you know, everyone's going to try to go, they're going to try to spin their free gems to get the best deck, right? So everyone's just playing that one deck. In Master Duel, or in TCG OCG, I feel like people are more willing to experiment with different decks because of cost of decks, right? Especially when the tier 1 deck is like, you know, thousands of dollars. People will just try to play other things, you know? When I did my local experiences for TCG, I ran into a whole bunch of decks, which you don't really see in the other Yu-Gi-Oh games out there. Things I don't like about TCG OCG. By far the most, oh my lord, the most money you could spend in Yu-Gi-Oh is in TCG OCG. It is not even close. Literally, if you want to play a meta deck, get ready to spend thousands of dollars, buddy. It is rough, okay? It is real rough. Hard to learn. I mean, you'll see a lot of these are similar to the Master Duel kind of scenario. Hard to learn. It is, again, everything that's hard to learn about Master Duel is in TCG OCG, but you don't have a computer prompting you kind of to teach you well, if that makes sense. You just have to figure it out on your own, or you have to look it up, or, you know, you may even be doing it wrong. You might end up thinking a card works a certain way. You go through 20 duels doing it that way. 20 duels later, you realize, oh shit, I've been cheating this whole time. That's not how that card works. So it can be very difficult to learn. Community, oh boy. When it comes to elitism, I think the TCG OCG community is by far the highest level of, I guess, elitism when it comes to their game. And there's a lot of people who think they know how to play, but they don't. And then they come to like a game like Master Duel or Duel Links and then realize, I have been playing this game wrong this entire time, and I've just never realized it up until now, because no one's told me otherwise. They never go to a YCS. They never go to, they just go to their locals, or they just play with friends, and they just assume these are how the cards work. And then once they finally learn, they're very stubborn and don't want to like ever change. But that's the obviously in Master Duel Links, if someone says something, you just duel them and you prove them wrong and you move on. Not so much in TCG OCG. I have seen people literally argue with me when it comes to card effects in the physical game. Limited playtime. It's not like Master Duel Links where you can just hit rank Q and then you're immediately playing the game. You do have to meet up with friends, or at the very least call your friends on Skype or Discord and set up a remote duel system with them. It's not so much I can just wake up in the middle of the night, it's 3 a.m., I'm gonna go play some TCG OCG. That's not really something you can do. So it does, for most people, I would say most people that play the game, there's gonna be a limited play time whenever a store or your friends set up time to play the game. And then cheaters, I think cheaters, this came from Master Duel Links, but this is a different type of cheating. I think there's a lot more people in TCG OCG who are willing to cheat in the moment, if you will, where if, they might be losing a set or something like that and just decide in the moment I'm going to be a little dishonest with my, with my top deck, or dishonest with a card effect or something like that. And just the opportunistic cheating that could come up in TCG OCG is a bit of a problem, and that's one aspect I'm not a huge fan of. And then last but definitely not least, we have Duel Links. Duel Links, as you all know, my first love, brought me back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's talk about it. What's the best things when it comes to Duel Links itself? Number one, and this is just what Duel Links is about, right? The anime. I'm not a huge anime fan of Yu-Gi-Oh! Most of my anime experiences come from Season 1, and after playing Duel Links, it has made me, open up and watch more Yu-Gi-Oh! I've watched 5Ds, I'm watching we're watching Arc, we finished watching Arc 5, we're watching Arc 5Ds, and we watched, I watched quite a few of the other seasons, like the Battle City arc and all that, when it came to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime, so that's really awesome. Ease to learn, by far, Duel Links is the easiest of all of the big Yu-Gi-Oh! Games right now. It is very, very easy. 3 speed duel format with the skills, simplistic card pool. It is a very easy way to ease yourself back into the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game, especially when we get links. I think Duel Links is going to be the best way to learn what Synchro, Xseed, Link Summoning is, and then you could apply that knowledge to other Yu-Gi-Oh! Games if you want to. Skills, I love anime skills. I know people are on opposite ends. Some people don't like the skills, some people love the skills, and it's just a back and forth type thing. But I love them, dude. I would much rather have skills than generic skills. That does not mean I want all generic skills gone, but I do like how the anime skills are able to make anime decks that wouldn't work otherwise work in the game. I think that's super awesome. I just wish there was a better balance when it came to the skills itself. And then finally, the Duel Links ban list. I talked about it in a video before. I actually really like the way the Duel Links ban list is. I wish it was a more used ban list when it came to Yu-Gi-Oh! I feel like a lot of people that don't like it don't really understand how it works, or don't understand that the negative parts of it usually come from Konami's inner decisions rather than the actual ban list itself being poorly implemented. I think it's super awesome, and I would love to see it in more Yu-Gi-Oh! Games, especially if it's a different format than the Master Rule format. Things I don't like about Duel Links so much: poor money to card ratio, unfortunately, because of no crafting. Every dollar that you spend in Duel Links, unfortunately, does end up kind of not in a so great place. You could get lucky and get a UR, you could get an SR, you could get a 5th SR that you already have. It's just, unfortunately, just due to the way they do things, it's just no bueno when it comes to that. Too easy. There's usually every deck will have 1 to 2 lines of play. It didn't always used to be this way, but that's pretty much what they've decided Duel Links will be moving forward. And because of that, they just kind of they just made it too easy, right? So once you play it for an extended period of time, you're going to start feeling like, man, I wish there was more to this game than there is. And that's when a lot of people end up going to other games at that point. Too grindy. I think I'm not a fan of the PvE events. I've never been one to go PvEing. I don't like grinding in free-to-play games. If it were up to me, if I could spend some money to avoid grinding, I'll do it, because I don't like to grind, man. I like to do the PvP. I don't like to do the PvE. The grinding isn't for me. Some people enjoy the grind, not me though. Konami management, I think even with the recent fumbles Master Duel has had, Duel Links is by far the most mismanaged game that Konami has right now. Obviously, it's been around for significantly longer in the digital sphere, so it's had more chances to mess up. I will admit that, but you still got to admit, hey, it's still fucky at the end of the day. And then finally, KC Cup. I don't like KC Cup. I think KC Cup is extremely unhealthy. I think there's a lot of young folk out there who want to get their name in the spotlight when it comes to Duel Links, which, you know, fine, great, go for it. If you're good at Duel Links, you should definitely show off that skill, but, you know, not at the cost of, you know, losing sleep, losing food, etc., etc., etc. I've always hated that KC Cup system because it makes, you know, younger people burn their candle faster, if you will. And there you go. There it is. There's the low effort top 5 list. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You guys leave a comment down below. What are your 5 things that you love about Yu-Gi-Oh? Either any of the games, Yu-Gi-Oh in general, or 5 things you hate. That's pretty much all I have. Till the next time. Peace out, boys.